Hey everybody, Ron Bielefeld, Whistling Wings Photography. Welcome to the setup video for your speed shooter harness system. The first thing I want to get out in this video is the harness that I'm using for this demonstration is not necessarily exactly like the harness you're going to get. I offer a lot of options with my harnesses. So, for example, this harness that I'm going to use in the demonstration has the MOLLE attachments on the strap, has the chest strap lockdown or loadout system on it. Yours may or may not have those, or other options depending on what you order with your harness. So please do not use what you see in this video as showing what you're going to receive with your harness. Like I said, a lot of options. Okay, so we're going to start out from the very beginning. And that's putting on your harness. All right, sometimes the straps get all jumbled up. And it's like, oh my God, there's too many straps. Actually, there's not. There's two straps. There's just two straps. They cross in the middle. So the best way, if you're confused about how to put your harness on, is to invert it and hold it by the pouch. And make sure that your straps are all straight coming down, like gravity do its work, right? And they should cross right here at the bottom. Now take your thumb and forefinger and pinch right there, all right? Now invert your harness. This is backwards, how you're going to put it on, but I'm just showing you what it looks like. Turn it around so that the pouch is forward, but again, keep your fingers pinched up here, keep that cross going. Now there's an obvious hole here in the middle for your head, and then there's a hole here for one arm, and a hole out here for the other arm. And then you just put your head through, and you put your arms through, and that's it. The harness is on. Okay? Now, lengthening and shortening the harness. How do you do that? There are two buckles here. On the main shoulder straps, I call them. These are the hip straps, I guess. The ones that go over your shoulders, there should be a buckle here. It may be, when you get your harness, it may be way back here, or it may be way down here. I try to keep the harnesses short when I ship them because it's just easier to package them up and ship them that way. If I have them lengthened all the way down, then it's hard to get in the box. So they should be somewhere right about here on you. To lengthen the harness, all you do is move each of these buckles downward toward the pouch. And if you get them all the way down, touching down here, the other two buckles that hold the pouch onto the shoulder straps, that's as long or as big as the harness is going to get. If you want to make it much shorter, you pull them up and over, up toward the shoulders. That will shorten up the harness. Another way to look at it is the longer the part of the harness that is doubled is, the longer this is, the shorter the harness is. The shorter these are, because if you pull this all the way down, this all becomes one layer. There's not two there. You pull it down, the longer or the shorter the doubled up part is, the longer the harness is. But anyway, again, to lengthen the harness, pull these down, and they may not just pull down. If you have a standard weight harness, it's going to be very tight in these buckles. You're going to have to work the straps to get them down or to get them up, okay? You can't just pull down like I'm doing now. I'm pulling them all the way down, right? Getting them down. Look at how long the harness is getting. It's getting longer. Now the pouch is way down here. Okay, that's not where I want it for shooting, so I'm going to put it back up. So if you have a ultralight harness, it's a little bit easier to move these because there's not as much in the buckle. Okay, now, where should you have your pouch? I can't really tell you. It's a personal thing. I like it right about my belly button or a little bit below. Okay, that's all I can say. You need to find a position for the pouch that works for you. Now, of course, you've got a monopod involved and your lens and your camera involved, and that can be adjusted. The monopod height can be adjusted as well. So you have two really dynamic ways of adjusting how this whole thing sets up. The height of the pouch and then the height of the monopod. So some people will want the pouch up higher and the monopod a little bit shorter. Some people will want the pouch down further, the monopod adjusted a little bit higher, and we'll get into that segment of this video shortly. But now, if you ordered a combination of my harness that comes with a chest strap, you can get the main harness and chest strap combo. You can get the full system, which comes with a chest strap, which then also has with it the security and stability strap, or safety and stability strap. How do you put that on? Okay, just so you know that these are connected two different ways for security. One is with Velcro, and the other is with a snap. And these snaps are a certain kind of snap that only snap and unsnap in one direction, and that's down the long axis of the chest strap. If you try to pull sideways, they will not unsnap. To snap them, you must also go the long axis of, whoops, yeah, I know. The long axis of the strap, like that. Then they'll snap. If you try to unsnap this way or this way, going across the long axis of the strap, the chest strap, they will not unsnap. That's a safety mechanism, so this won't come popping off if you ever lose control of your camera system and it jerks on the safety strap. It's not just going to pop this thing off, okay? So, to put it on, it should go around the entire two straps. If there's doubled here, if you have it adjusted really long, there will be only one layer of strapping. But if you have two here, it should go around, and this should already be on your harness when you get it, so you can see how it should be put on there. It goes around both and then just snaps. Okay, like that, and then goes around here and snaps. And this actually can be done a lot easier with it off, but some people like to do it with it on, some people like to do it with it off. Okay, there we go. Now, about the chest strap on the main harness straps. It moves up and down. That's by design. Some people like it that way, okay? Because when you're shooting, you're going to be in different positions and things, and the fact that this can move a little bit up and down is not an issue. It actually helps things be more comfortable. Now, but you don't want it just whoop, slide down. Once, and you'll see in a minute, once I get my camera system and everything, and we get the monopod in here and get it hooked up, the camera system, when it's hooked up to this, it's going to put pressure on it. It holds it pretty much in place, unless there's a lot of movement, okay? So it's not just going to slide up and down. Now, for those of you who don't want it to slide up and down, but want it to stay in one place, you can get an option that's called the lockdown, the chest strap lockdown option, or the loadout option. I changed the name because lockdown seems to portray more what it does than the loadout. So if you have one that said loadout and now you get one that says lockdown, it's the same thing. So anyway, what that does is it puts holes in the front straps here of the main shoulder straps, and also a hole on each side of the chest strap, and those holes are for pins to go through. If you get this option, you will have a pin that goes through the hole in the chest strap, and then will go through one of the holes in the shoulder strap, and obviously that will hold it in place. Now, how do the pins work? I'm going to come up closer, and I'm going to show you that the pins are made up of two parts. All right? There's the pin part and then the little screw head part. The screw head part goes on the back side. That's the way I do it. I guess you could put it on the front, but it doesn't look as nice. That's the way you want to do it. But anyway, this screw goes into the end, and they can be a little finicky of the pin and screw all the way in. I'm not going to screw it all the way in. And that holds it, okay? You'll get extra pins and extra screws if you get the lockdown option on your harness, in case you lose one of these things, which can happen, right? But anyway, that's that. Again, not all harnesses come with this. Not all harnesses come with the MOLLE attachments. It depends on what options you order with your harness. At some point, I may start just including the lockdown on all my harnesses, the molly on all my harnesses, but you got to understand that that all takes more time, adds more cost, and I'd rather give people an option to spend more money than to have it built into the system and have the overall system cost more money. Because if you don't want this, you don't have to pay for it, okay? But if I get efficient enough and if I get the machinery down the line to make putting this together very efficient, maybe I'll be able to offer all this stuff as just a standard thing. But anyway, that's how the chest strap goes in. If you don't have the load-out system, it will just be the Velcro and the snaps and friction holding it a little bit, and then your system holding it once you put it on. Okay? So now on to the next segment of this video, and that's about your camera system and the monopod and the pouch and getting all that adjusted and set up correctly. So be right back, the next segment. Okay, next segment of the video, the setup of the whole system on your harness. Once you have your harness on and adjusted to what you think is the right length for you, now it's time to deal with monopod, monogimbal head, safety and stability strap, camera. Okay, so here's what I see a lot of people do, and this is not the way to do it. First of all, they use the tiniest part of their monopod, the thinnest leg. I can't take that out on this monopod. This is the speed shooter monopod, and those legs are not accessible for this reason. Because if you use that little bitty spindly leg on your monopod, it's going to put a lot of stress potentially on that, and it's not really up to the task. Instead, we use the third one up at least, okay? You don't need a real long, big, huge, strong monopod for this system. It's meant to be light and quick. It's called the speed shooter for a reason. So, a relatively small aluminum monopod now, gone away from using carbon fiber, just for one reason, and that's if something does happen and you put a lot of stress on here, okay, you're not using the safety strap or something like that, carbon fiber can shatter and cause some real problems, okay? Aluminum will just bend. No big issues there. I like aluminum. If you're using your own monopod with my system, that's up to you, whatever you want to use, okay? Some people are using really big, huge, thick monopods. If you can get them in the pouch, go for it, okay? This is the monopod I provide. If you buy the monopod from me, or if you buy the full system, this is the monopod you'll get. But again, it could change. Things could change, and I may go to a different monopod. I'm always trying to evolve the system and make it better. So don't go, like I said earlier in the video, by what you see in this video is exactly what you're going to get. On top is the Wimberley Monogimbal head, a critical part of this system. This whole system was basically designed around this head because it's small, it's light, and it's a gimbal head. It doesn't add a lot of height here, and it doesn't add much going out, so everything stays pretty centered. But it's a gimbal head, so it allows you to balance your system. So here's how you don't set it up. Okay, you don't do this and then you put the foot in the pouch, and then you go and you try to put your camera on here. Yeah, not the way to go. You're going to drop things that you don't want to drop. So this is how you do it. You put your camera down on a nice firm surface, whether it's the ground, boat seat, car seat, truck seat, bench, whatever you have. The knob on the top of the monogimbal head goes up. You make sure you loosen it. It goes on your Arca Swiss plate that's on your lens. About halfway, let's just say, to start. Tighten it down. Make sure it's on there. Okay? It's not that you haven't misaligned it. Happens a lot to a lot of people. Make sure it's on there. Make sure your ring for your tripod foot is loose, so it'll pivot, and you just pick it up. Not balanced. Okay, so let's balance it. Let's bring it back. Let's get this thing balanced. Hey, how about that? Pretty quick, got that balanced. That's the point of the system, is that it's balanced. It's not flopping this way, it's not flopping that way. If you use a regular, quote-unquote, monopod head, the kind that just pivots like this, and you have to, see, this is loose, okay? And you have to tighten and loosen this knob to give you a little bit of movement here, but you can't loosen it too much or it'll go boom, or it'll go boom, like this. Not good. Monogimbal head, that's why, okay? Now that you have it on here, you can go ahead and balanced. You can go ahead and put the foot in your harness, in your pouch of your harness down here. Now, it's balanced. So guess what? Now you can lean it over your shoulder. Hands-free. Now you hook up your safety and stability strap. Now on this right now, it's going to make some noise on the mic there. But I've actually got it on upside down. My chest strap, it doesn't really matter. It just happens to make it a little bit harder to get it clipped in, but not really, okay? So here it is. Now, see how loose this is? This is not the way you want it. You want it tight, because this way, if it's loose like this and you lose control of your camera and lens, there's so much slack there that it's going. It's going to snap, and it's going to, boy, that's not going to be good, okay? So what you want to do is tighten this up. So you make it taut, and that brings tension to the chest strap and keeps it from moving up and down if you don't have the lockdown or loadout option on your harness and your chest strap. Now the tension holds it where it should be. Some people like it that it'll move a little bit, but now that it's taut, if you lose control, there's no momentum gained, and it just stops. Okay, there you go, like that. Now, it's not meant, this is not meant, the chest strap and stability strap, the safety strap, stability strap, is not meant to hold your, it will hold it. But this is not what you do. No, 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 no. Don't do this, because something will fail eventually. It's not meant to hold the weight forever like that. It's meant for, oop, oh God, oop, okay, like that. That's what it's meant for. Now, but you tighten it up, and you get it just right, a little too tight, okay, that's fine. Loosen it up a little bit. Get it to the tension, and this is a little low for me, so we're going to bring it up a little bit, because I'm going to actually unhook this for a second, because here's how you should set it up. It should be to where when you are like this and you bring it up, it should come right to your eye. Viewfinder right to your eye. You shouldn't have to scrunch down. You shouldn't have to be stretching upward to get to the viewfinder, like so. Okay, so that's pretty good for me. Again, you can adjust the height of the harness pouch, and you can adjust the height of the monopod to get it just right. Now, once you have it like that, go ahead and reattach this. And it's just a simple buckle. And you get the tension correct here with this. The stability you have right here is amazing. If you leave this too loose, you don't gain as much stability as you would if you tighten this. The stability is amazing. That's the way you want it. And you don't want this twisted necessarily. I'm just not going to turn it around for this video. And it just shows you can use it this way. Now, let's talk about a little more setup. If you're using your own monopod, when you get the chest strap and stability strap with your harness, if you order it that way, if you don't order just the main harness, you won't get this. You got to order at least the combo, full system, whatever. If you have the stability strap, it's going to come with just this plastic buckle right here. See? Just this buckle and a tag end and the strap. Your monopod needs to have some place to attach this strap to. Most monopods come with a wrist strap and an attachment point for that wrist strap. That's where you attach this strap to. If your monopod doesn't have that, then you're going to have to figure out some way of attaching this strap to your monopod. If you buy the monopod with the system, it's going to work. Okay? So that's that. Now, notice, please, that I have the knob of the Monogimbal head, and it's balanced, and it's loose on the right-hand side, and the knob on the Monogimbal head, adjustment and tightening for the Arca Swiss plate on top. Why? I see some people with it the other way around. The reason is everybody pretty much shoots right-handed and right-eyed, or even if you shoot left eye, you're still using your right hand to grip the camera, because all cameras are right-handed, and you're using your left hand to stabilize the lens. Or this way. Try doing that hand holding. Try hand holding like this, right? With the harness, you can do this, you can do this. But the point is if this were over here, you'd be reaching, we can do that. Okay, I can turn this around this quickly, okay, and put this on the other side. Well, now if I'm going around the monopod, this is in the way if it's on the left-hand side. Some people shoot like this. Okay, fine, if you want to do it that way, but it's not the most stable way to shoot with the harness system. The way it's meant to be is like this, okay? And that's why this pivot's on here, okay? Because you can do this kind of stuff. So anyway, it's meant to be on the right-hand side, so that when you're using your hand here, there's nothing in the way. Zoom. If you've got a zoom lens, this isn't a zoom. This is the manual focusing ring. But I'm just saying, if you have a zoom and this is over here, man, that's going to be a problem. Put it on the right-hand side, okay? Even focus, if you're going to use the manual focusing ring. Put it on the right-hand side, nothing's in your way, okay? That's how you set that thing up. Now, if you get this all set up pretty much correctly for you as far as height coming right to your eye, you can just swing this thing over your shoulder and away you go. And away you go. Hands free, or what I usually do is put my hand right here. Walk, hike, do whatever you want to do, okay? Now, if you get the if you get the Speed Shooter harness version and with the optional waist belt integrated in, it comes here, it's going to basically fix this pouch in position. It's going to make it harder to walk around like this if you tighten that belt up a bunch. If you leave it a little loose so the pouch can move around a little bit, you can still walk around and use the system like this. Just be aware that if you get the waist belt and you want to tighten that bad boy up to hold that pouch stable, well, now it's going to be like this. So now it's hard to get that weight going back over your shoulder where it's comfortable and it's secure to do this. Again, you can loosen the waist belt and get this movement, and you can do it, but just be aware. All right? So that's really about it. That is how you put together, set up, and a little bit about how you use the Speed Shooter harness system. If you have any questions after watching this video, you can always email me at ron@whistlingwingsphotography.com, and I will get back to you almost assuredly the same day. Unless I'm on a multi-day tour, leading a multi-day tour or something like that, or if I'm even on a full day tour that I'm leading, I may not get back to you right away that day, but I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can, and we will work out your issues. Because the main thing that I want is for everybody possible to get the most out of their Speed Shooter harness system. I want it to work for you. It works so well for me. It frees you up to basically I call it weightlessly handhold. Okay? No, it doesn't make your camera system weightless, but it puts it on your shoulders or on your waist if you get the waist belt or whatever you want. But it's weightless for your hands and arms. I'm holding this right now with one finger. There's no weight on your hands and arms. Instead of hand holding and having all that weight, you can weightlessly hand hold a big system even like this. 600 f4, Canon R5 with the grip on it. It's pretty heavy, I guess. No problem for the harness system. Now, I have a video out. It's my ad, my newest ad. People wonder, can you shoot over your head? Absolutely. This is designed. We'll talk one more thing. This is one more thing about how to use it. If you want to handhold, you can. Just lift it up and shoot like you didn't even have the harness on. It's designed so the foot stays in the pouch, so that when you get done shooting, you just bring it back down. There's no fumbling trying to get the harness or the monopod foot back in the pouch of the harness. Up, down, as much as you want. Again, now if you have the waist belt on there, you're going to have it loose in order to do that, or you won't be able to do it very well if you use the waist belt option. But if you shoot over your head a lot, boom, okay? There's another way to do it. I'm going to loosen that. There's another way. If you shoot air shows and you shoot up at an angle a lot, well, why not just do the monopod a little bit taller? You move back a little bit, and now that angle's right there. My eye's right there. Look at this. I can shoot upward all day long at an air show. No problem. Can even bend over a little bit, shoot lower if I have to. If they're going to buzz the airfield low, boom, okay? But if you want that upward angle, you can get it this way, or you can bring it back down to where you want it for regular shooting, and then just hand hold for a second. Bring it down. Hand hold for a second. Bring it down. You're still going to be a lot fresher after a day of doing that than actually hand holding the entire day. Hey, that's it. I'm Ron Bielefeld. This is Whistling Wings Photography. This was the setup video for the Speed Shooter harness system. Hey, again, need help? Just give me a call. See you soon.